لا إله إلا الله.
I begin my Friday sermon reminding you and myself of the saying of God Almighty in the Quran, "O people, be conscious of Allah." How many people around the world need that admonition to be conscious? If not of God, of Allah, then be conscious of their humanity, be conscious of doing what is right. Slaughtering the innocent, killing the young, the men, the women, the children, the helpless, with no real consequences. Just condemnations, shy condemnations here and there. When they can get away with literally slaughtering the 5-year-old, literally killing the infant in front of her mother before they kill the mother, just to break her heart first. They kill the infant. It is told that in Homs, Syria, less than 2 months ago, a mother having her baby when the criminals of the regime walked into the house, she begged them. Her daughter got frazzled. She got frazzled, dropped her daughter on the ground, and her daughter started crying. The person with his weapon shot the baby in front of his mother twice in the head and the chest, telling her mother, "That's better, because we know she's gonna grow up to be someone against the regime." And then he killed the mother herself. Young girls being raped in front of their mothers and father and siblings, before those mothers and fathers are shot after that. The lucky among them, and many of them are telling us, "I don't feel lucky. I feel that it's more punishment for me to have every single day to live the image of my 12-year-old daughter being violated in front of me. Why did they leave me alive?" That's what people are saying. And the people shall overcome, God willing. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه فيا فوز المستغفرين. أستغفر الله.
Chicago. He knows more about Syria than most Syrians, actually. His name is Fred Zuckerberg. Please give Fred a hand.
Hi, thank you. I just want to say that there comes a time in the history of the world when the fate of the world depends upon what happens in one small seeming country. That country today is Syria. And everybody in the world needs to be concerned with what's happening in Syria today, because it has meaning for every other country. And there are people who call themselves revolutionaries who haven't yet come out to stand with the people of Syria. That's kind of disgraceful. And we need to challenge them and say, if you're serious about making a better world, you need to stand with the people who are fighting the hardest and sacrificing the most to make this world a better place. Not only for us, for our children, for our children's children. And right now, the people of Syria are those people. And it's a great honor to be able to speak in support of them. What I also want to say is that the sacrifices that the people of Syria are making are almost beyond belief. And there is going to come a time when Syria is free. When Syria is free and this world is a freer place. The people know this. The Palestinian people know this. That's why they support the Syrian people. The Egyptian, the Yemenis, the Tunisians all know this. All the oppressive governments of the world know this as well. Israel, Iran, Russia, China, they know that a free Syria makes a different world for their own oppressed people. Now, there's going to come a time when Syria is free and this is a better world. And at that time, I want to be able to go there. And I'm going to take my son with me. He's 14 years old now. And the Syrian people will have made a better world for him. And I want to go to the villages where people have suffered so much. And I want to say, I can never, never bring back the things that you have lost. But I will tell you this. I hope from now on that you will consider me as well to be one of your children. Because I'm a part of the world that you have made with your bravery and your heroism. And I hope that you will consider my son to be your child as well. And his children, all of his sons, all of his daughters, right down to the end of the world. Because it will be the Syrian people that have made this a better world for all of those children to live in. And I thank you for allowing me to speak.
Alhamdulillah. First of all, can I say something? I have few heroes in this world. My father, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but the FSA are my heroes. And if you want to support them, there's t-shirts just like mine over there. Just right there. Support them. Allah mhayyi al-jaysh al-hur. Allah mhayyi al-jaysh al-hur. None of us believe that peace is so sweet or life so dear that we are willing to sell our freedom at the price of chains and slavery. You might not be chained by metal, but a lot of Syrians are chained by something stronger, fear in their hearts. So when we throw that out, when people go out and protest, it might get boring. Like, I've seen 10,000 protest videos. Come on, they're all the same. It's not. The reason why Assad is so threatened by these peaceful protests is because they're speaking truth. Jesus Christ alayhi salam said the truth will set you free. Not NATO, not Congress, not anyone. The truth will set you free. I know a lot of people here who are like, why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why would God, a lot of philosophers say this, I'm a philosophy major, this is why. Say, why would God let there be evil in this world? Why are there women being raped? My grandmother, her neighbor, she lives in Sham. Her neighbor came from Homs to stay there. She was raped by the Assad forces. She committed suicide a few days ago. She couldn't handle it. Don't tell me about suicide or haram or halal. She couldn't live with herself. Her family couldn't speak to her. She was crying the whole time. Do you understand what that feels like, to not only be brutalized and have your father kicked in front of you and disgraced and then be raped by those men? And latakia in English for those of us. They took the women in front of the men prisoners. They found the prisoners' wives. They took them into the prison and raped them in front of their husbands. Don't deny this. So when you ask me where's God, I tell you, where are God's men? أين رجال الله؟ أين جنود الله؟ أين الذين عاهدوا الله وصدقوا عهدهم؟ We all sit here and don't think this isn't gonna happen to you. Inshallah, Allah yab'ad al-shar. But this happens to a lot of families. And if it hasn't reached your household, I hope it doesn't. Because you don't understand how heartbreaking it is if you haven't seen it or if you haven't heard it. When a mother wakes up at night in Homs whose teenage daughter was detained. You know what they do to teenage daughters who are detained? She wakes up in the middle of the night every night. She's like, she hears a knock on the door. And she's like, she wakes up and she's frazzled and she's like, oh, it's my daughter. It's Iman, she's coming home. And her husband every night has to tell her, no, you're hearing things, go back to sleep. She hasn't been let go. She disappeared and she's been gone the whole year. They don't know if she's alive. The mother will visit every prison begging just to know if her daughter is there, not even set her free. So don't just feel bad, don't just pity them, do something. Do something with your time. What you have of wealth, we're held accountable for that. We have money, we're held accountable. Support those who are fighting. This isn't a choice between peace and war. This is a choice between fight or retreat. And you retreat forever. You think this revolution dies down will live again? Hamal will be all of Syria. First and foremost, my and your homes in Syria, our families. I'm sick of hearing my grandmother scared on the phone. I'm sick of them barging into our homes. And I'm sick of people here living like there's nothing happening. No, you know what? We don't have to ask from these countries, but we can hold them accountable. You don't see something wrong like that and let it happen. This is how Rwanda happened. People's homes are destroyed, their women are violated, their men are killed, and people are watching it. So yes, everyone is responsible. And if I don't hold you responsible, then the dead will. The dead will hold you responsible. فَأَدُّوا الْأَمَانَةِ. Whatever you can do, you know, only you in your heart and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what you can do. If it's getting a summer job, if you're a teenager, just to send those proceeds to someone there, then that's worthwhile. You have that opportunity. If it's just speaking, then it's good enough. Whatever you can do. All I ask is that you pray for them. الدعاء لا حجاب بين المظلوم والظالم. Please pray for them.
Hi everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, it's actually Universe of Poetry, no problem. We're an organization that advocates for international dialogue, compassion, and peace through poetry. So I'm going to read a poem dedicated to the people of Syria by Syrian poet Moja Kaf. It's entitled For the Free Syrians Behind Bars. You, shoulders hunched on cots in prison cells tonight. You whose bodies are bound in rubber tires or hung by meat hooks for bludgeoning. You who are dragged to torture tables by your hair, to sit with vertebrae force arched beyond your stress points. May our love reach you tonight. May it come between the truncheon and your jawbone. May it weaken every jolt from cable taped to your flesh. When interrogators finish with you for the night, may you feel this balm we wipe on your skin, our love. We anoint you with it, our honor for you, our cherishing. Let it come quietly to your side, touch your forearm, succor you. Here, take my pillow. If I could send it to you, anyway, I've little use for it. I see your faces, and my eyelids open. Hanadi, Yaya, Deya, Majd, Ziad, Ahmad, Malak, Omar, Ghassan, Man, Rafa, Hazem, Guevara, Amr, Marwa, Tarek, Anas, Juan, Shadi, Raji, Mohammed, Allah, Moaz, Emad, Bilal, Ali, Talal, Amir, Zain, Tal, Tahama, Osama, Yaqub Hana Shamoun, Ahmad Tani Abazid, and every other prisoner, especially those yet unnamed, unlisted anywhere, snatched by dictatorship's police. Without a word reaching family or neighbors, without an online page to tell the story. Do not think you are alone. You are not alone in that stone cell. We hear your voice, no matter how they muzzle your mouth. You are free, no matter how no matter behind how many locks. Do not think you are not powerful. You are powerful. You are the muscle and sinew of truth flexing. Hold on, my brothers, my sisters. You are whole humans among those who have dwarfed their humanity. They are mutilated, limbs bent, into tasks of hatred, contorted, crooked, spent. You throb with life and love. You are precious to us, that loopy grin, your high-elbowed billiard shot, the thumb pad you lick, before you deal the cards for trumps, the cheeks, your children or parents' kiss, the wholesomeness of organs by which you had or may have children. We are scrabbling with our hands through barbed wire to get to you. Whisper to us, even if you cannot move your lips. We hear you. Sip a little bit every day of this love we pour for you, and may it be as sweet as Ein Fija water on your tongue. We would bring it in our hands for you. Our hands clasp your hands, pulling. Hold on tight. Thank you. So we pray for the people of Syria, for their freedom and salvation, that they'll be free from tyranny sometime soon. So, and this is, by the way, this poetry was by Moja Kop, who was very gracious to dedicate this poetry very soon so we could recite it here today for you. So thanks to her as well.
وعلى دلعونا وعلى دلعونا الشعر الجاحش صاير ملعونا وعلى دلعونا ونحن السورية ودينا الأسد على عصفورية واليوم وبكرة الهمة قوية ونحن رح نبقى ورح ترحلونا